From our studios at Riley High School, it's time for Michiana's #1 student talk show, Buzz in the Bend.
Good morning, Michiana. Welcome to the Buzz in the Bend. I'm Alex Almanza.
I'm Cecily Ball.
And I'm Ryan Pandori.
And we're so glad to have you with us here on Buzz in the Bend, our first show of the year on Buzz in the Bend, where we talk about national and local news, school events. So, so glad to have you. How do you guys feel?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Your
good
first
too.
time like on the set.
It's a bit. I mean, it's something we'll get used to for sure.
Right,
but.
and it's sort of like we're preparing ourselves to get into the news stories like we usually do.
Right. Yeah.
So things like that. And Cecily, you want to bring us our first story of today?
Yes, I do.
We got a little bit more.
So there are some Black History Month events that are happening in South Bend. The first one is the Me Too founder, Tarana Burke. She is the founder, and she will speak at 7 p.m. on February 25th at the University of Notre Dame as a part of the university's Black History Month events. And the event is free to the public, and it will be in room 101 of the DeBartolo Classroom Building. And she will discuss the Me Too movement and the intersectionality of those doing the work and those getting the credit for the work. And we also have a Celebrating Malcolm X event, and it's honoring the life and legacy of a leading voice in the 1960 Civil Rights Movement, which is on February 21st, 5 to 6:30 p.m. at IUSB.
Right, and these are events that are open to the public and free for everyone to find out. And do you know any information about maybe where, a website or just flyers or just attend?
There's a website for the Notre Dame. If you just look up Notre Dame or look up IUSB, you'll find events that for Black History Month there.
All right. The Indiana Senate Health Committee voted 8-2 Wednesday to advance a bill raising from 18 the minimum age to buy cigarettes, other tobacco products, or e-liquids. It also would prohibit anyone younger than 18 from buying or possessing vaping liquids, even if they didn't contain nicotine. Supporters say raising the age could improve the state's health as fewer people start smoking. Now, what do you think about people under the age of 18 smoking? You think it's good, bad?
I don't want to say I don't have a problem with it, but at the same time.
It's really, it's obviously not good for you, like health-wise.
But it's better than smoking. It's way better than, all that, all those chemicals. So I do agree that maybe people under the age of 18 shouldn't, vape. Pretty bad for you. But I feel like, yes, if you're over the age of 18, nicotine in these vaping liquids, it's probably a little better. Definitely not the best for you.
Right. Yeah.
But God, how many times have you walked into an open street and then just smelled all that smoke?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's
yeah, like you said, as opposed to smoking actual cigarettes.
Right. And I think it's a little better for the environment.
Right.
Valentine's Day will mark the 1-year anniversary of the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, which birthed a teen-led gun control crusade. HBO marks that moment through a narrow window into it with Song of Parkland, a half-hour documentary short that has equal parts uplifting and heartbreaking. So it still feels like this happened a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's something that
it does feel really recent. Yeah.
And not to mention that a lot of other schools around the country, have experienced the same thing, and it's kind of become this daily norm that, hey, every 2 months a school gets, shot up.
Now that you bring it up, I actually have recently, because last school year, it was so current with school shootings, but this year I actually haven't noticed there being too many, which is good. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing, but.
Coming up next, South Bend could have its own Amazon distribution center. But first, we would like to thank the Construction Technology CTE class for building us this wonderful set that we have here. Complete with plants and everything. Yeah. We cannot thank you guys enough. That is coming up next.
So basically we're going to build like kind of a house like inside, and then next year we're going to build a house out like in the suburbs, and I'm really excited to like build my own house and do stuff like that.
I joined the class because good money building houses and doing construction work like this, and I mean just a good job to have, I guess.
Out of the ordinary. It's not a typical shop class. If you think you're going to come here and build birdhouses, it's not going to happen. We do everything, like I say, that it takes to build a home. So you're going to come in here and you'll install a toilet. You'll be putting in garbage disposals and kitchen sinks. You'll be putting shingles on.
Like, it's a good job for creative people. You can design your own how to do stuff. I want to make houses and like put my personal touch on things, you know.
I'm trying to prepare these guys to go out into the work market and be instantly productive.
Welcome back to Buzz in the Bend. I'm Alex Almanza.
I'm Cecily Ball.
And I'm Ryan Pandori.
An Amazon delivery center appears destined for South Bend. It looks like Amazon has plans to have a presence here in South Bend with a new building that is appearing, but nothing is set yet. They haven't really said anything. Mouths have been keeping shut about that. One thing I feel that this would bring to South Bend is a lot of jobs.
Oh, for
a lot
sure.
of jobs.
Yeah. Amazon, huge company.
So the paperwork indicates that 103 people will be working at the 84,000 square foot facility. Now I know that's not a lot, but that's more jobs on the streets here in South Bend. The building itself was construction on a spec by Great Lakes Capital. So again, we don't know for sure if any plans are being put in place, but hey, I want my Amazon delivery a little faster now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
me too.
these distribution centers, and instead of waiting, 5 days, 6 days, sometimes even 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, really, guys? And I don't want to pay for Prime. I don't have Prime.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste.
Actually, it's not so bad.
Well, it's all right, but
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
easy
it
for those patient people who are willing to wait. Like,
Yeah.
That's
it doesn't
true,
matter
yeah.
now. So
I have a lot of money.
you have a lot of money.
Yes. Now, we're talking about the Oscars not having a host. Can you bring us more information?
Sure.
About
The head of the ABC Entertainment, which airs the Academy Awards, said that they would instead highlight celebrities presenting the trophies after comedian Kevin Hart pulled out of hosting the ceremony following a controversy over old homophobic tweets in December. I don't
and
know.
who's getting fired up over these tweets?
I think I saw something about it in December. It was just a lot of people being like, he's still racist, you can't say old things and not be racist now,
Oh, okay. Well, one thing my opinion on this is that people get so fired up about things nowadays, and it's kind of getting hard to really say anything. There's no such thing as really freedom of speech anymore. Everything that you say will be criticized, and hey, if I say, I don't like Donald Trump, there's going to be some people out there that, hey, you know what, I'm not going to be your friend anymore.
That's
So,
true.
Things like
Right.
that. I mean, people just need to take it a little more easy.
And it's also opinions that he doesn't stand by anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's true.
he wasn't even being serious when he said them.
Right.
And this is like stuff he said literally 10 years ago. So like a whole decade ago.
Yeah.
And
10 years ago, 10 years dumber. Right?
yes, right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem criticizing the things he did 10 years ago, but at the same time, there's no reason to
Just like there's things
completely
that
cut him off.
there's
Yeah.
things that I've said 10 years ago that I don't stand by anymore, and just like
Right.
people
Yeah.
change
Those are dumb
their
things.
beliefs. Yeah, right.
They're dumb things. All right, and Unicode is coming up with brand new emojis, I heard.
Yeah.
How's that going?
They approved 230 new emojis that will come to the platform, including iOS and Android this year. And a lot of them are couples of different genders and skin tones, and they're also holding hands. And a subset of these include gender-inclusive couples for users who not describe to any particular gender. And they also expanded the emojis to represent more people with disabilities. And it includes a deaf person in different skin tones, prosthetic medical limbs, and a service dog.
Oh.
Android. Ugh. I don't personally like Android, but I really like that.
No offense to
they're-
any Android users out there. It's
Yeah,
just-
no.
it's just- yeah.
I don't like the kind of how it's
the
laid out.
interface, like everything, like
Anyway,
how
but
it's all set
it's
up.
kind of cool how these companies are kind of collaborating with one another, and they're they're trying to figure out how can we make something inclusive of everyone. How can we include everyone into it? While breaking down these walls, Samsung versus Apple, and things like that. I really like that. They're just adding these new emojis.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when they were first just like white hands, and that was like about it.
Right.
Like,
and there were not that many.
Yeah, that's true. So like now that they're including all these different like people, I think that's really looking forward into the future.
Yeah, Apple's always been really good about, with their emojis and like staying true to the current time. Like, I can't remember how many updates ago it was when they added, like you said, when they added all the different skin tones and stuff for the hands and stuff. And it was definitely it was a good move for them to do so. Because it really, they're all about equality and everything with their emojis, so.
South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is joining the 2020 presidential race, and we could see, our mayor up on the national stage. Now, I know it's a little different since Pete Buttigieg's step is not taking the state first and then the presidential or the national scale.
Big move for him.
A big move, and new study shows that people who vote for presidents prefer to find someone who is brand new, who has a new face, and preferably they're very interesting. Now, Pete Buttigieg is interesting.
Very much so. Yeah.
One thing that people bring up a lot is that he is gay. He's a very young mayor, and he's a young mayor that's leading a city of 100,000 people or more, and he just came out of nowhere. So he's this small city mayor that's stepping up to this national scale, and I really think that this is a big move that South Bend could have. He runs a city of 100.
Yeah.
He's made smart streets, even though people might have not liked that. He's doing something, and he could translate that onto a national scale. What do you think Pete Buttigieg would? You think this is a great move for him?
I personally do think it's a good move. I think he can really like step up to the plate. To be honest,
Right.
I don't know. He's just done so many great things for the community, and I think he can really bring that into the presidential campaign.
And are we all gonna be able to vote? I know I am.
Yeah, I am too.
You're gonna vote.
Yeah, I will. I was just thinking about that the other day as well.
Right. So this does apply to us. We're not just random people talking about it, because we have a say in what what the U.S. is about, who leads our nation of the free world. So, hey, Pete Buttigieg. If you're watching,
I definitely think he can do it. Just because he's young,
doesn't mean
he can't do it. Like, he's a very, very smart man.
And like he said, he's got more military experience, more government experience than Trump and was it Pence? Did he say Pence combined or Trump?
Yeah, actually, yeah, he did say that.
Did he say something?
Both of them combined.
Right.
Those were his words.
Right. So, talking about that, Shane Inez, who is a former graduate here, is actually running for mayor now. We're going to have him here on the Alan Big Mo show pretty soon. Do you know who Shane Inez is?
I just heard about him yesterday, so I have no idea.
He's a graduate of this class, the CTE class, the audio video production class, and the thing is, he owns a phone store. And my opinion on that is, I don't know.
Going from being a cell phone store owner to,
I think
he's 19. No, he's 19. Yeah.
19. Yeah. See, in less than 10 months, I'm able to run for mayor. But the thing is, I would not run for mayor.
Yeah, you have to be able to actually handle it. Is what it's all about.
Yeah, you can handle a phone store. But you can't. Do you think you can handle a?
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I can see him being like a treasurer or something.
Yeah.
He knows how to manage like money and.
Right. Yeah.
And, how to operate a store.
And it'd be a good start for him to get into the whole.
Right.
Industry.
Yeah, but if you're going to be a mayor, you kind of have to learn the smaller things. Now, I'm saying the same. I know I said the same thing about Pete Buttigieg. He's jumping from the mayor scale to the presidential scale, but. The thing is that he's a post 9/11 Afghanistan veteran, and he's translating these small things into bigger things that actually do make sense. He's worked in government.
Right.
Pete Buttigieg has worked in government, and it makes sense for him to make that jump. But for a smaller guy like a phone store owner,
it's just really not the best move for him. So.
Well, thank you for joining us on Buzz in the Bend. We hope to join you and you to join us pretty soon. This is going to be every Friday, hopefully, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited this will be our first episode. I'm Alex Almanza.
I'm Cecily Ball.
And I'm Ryan Pandori.
Thank you for tuning in. You have a great morning.